the next meeting now, so.
Okay, so we're back. Again, the pageant, you guys met the candidate, unfortunately, she has to leave, she had another appointment. I know they started, the first, I was supposed to start yesterday, but the one who is coaching them was out sick, so, they will start tomorrow. So the first, I believe, is a review. So.
We already talked to an international designer to help with the costume. My son or kid
Oh, very nice.
is willing to help.
Oh, nice. For the name costume? Oh. Nice.
Okay, yeah, so, we can just get together.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to mention to us?
Oh, I mentioned yes, to resort back to item number the 4, financial report.
So there's a motion, seconded by, Geraldine, to revert back to financial report. Any objections? No objections? Okay, the financial report. For our appropriated funds, the 2025 carryover, our balances as of today, for our general fund is 5,955.98. Our Guam Educational Facilities Funds is 9,441.44. Our Limited Gaming Fund is 2,361.16. Our MCOG Operation Supplemental is 10,728.25. And our debtor buffer strip is 73,145. Any questions? So,
How much for the buffer?
buffer is 73. 145. So, again, the buffer strip is funds that we receive from the buffer strip in Dedado between mobile and KS Traffic Light. The businesses there. The only thing is the lease there was only good for 10 years. So at the moment, they're not collecting any fees. So, once we exhaust this, that's it. Until such time, yeah, but then they would have to amend the law. Because the law that was passed, and this was introduced by the late Senator Ted Nelson.
Okay.
Did it have sunset? Did it have sunset?
10 years, it was on good for 10 years.
Okay.
So, of course, land management has to do that, and
So those
Will
rates,
that expire this year?
No, this, for as long as there's funding, and that's the reason why, once we exhaust this,
Then that's the time you can do.
until, no, we don't get any funds until there's a fee that's collected from those businesses.
But they haven't connected.
Yeah, so they have not collected.
so in a sense, they're doing it, I mean, they're staying, their businesses as free right now without.
Yes. So my understanding is Payless is the only one that's paying the fee, because of course they invested in the parking lot.
Yes.
What is it? Bank Pacific refuses because they said they don't have to. It's already past the 10 years, so. Yeah.
So, the legislature aware of this,
So I know that Denver Vice Mayor Ann is the one who's really spearheading, trying to, she's been in communication with land management on this. And we were supposed to meet,
that's Joe.
so.
So all those, who's the authority, the department that the land falls under? Is it this, land trust or is it land manager?
It's under land, it's land management.
So they are the ones that have to request the legislature to,
Yes.
right, to bring these,
Either them or us, but we need to, first we need to sit down and discuss it as to how do we want them to amend it.
Who's the comedian, man?
Land is, yes, 20 Act, Senator 20 Act.
We should have like a.
So, just from my understanding, if they don't want to, then what do we do?
yeah, what is of course that, right?
What are our options? Block off the parking lot? Because they did that to the court.
Yeah,
When the court, they didn't renew their lease,
Yeah,
the court, part of the court's parking lot is a privately owned.
that's the one, the newly one, right? The one on the
Yeah.
side, the one owned by Taurus, the one owned by Taurus.
So when they didn't renew the lease, that got taken off.
Yeah.
No parking.
So if you look at the courts,
so
the courts, there's two sides where the.
The one that's on Route 4.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, you're talking about again,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying, right? It's a similar situation where, you know, it's using property that doesn't belong to you, right?
So they have to be negotiated. Literally, there's no parking for employees or for the patients, the patrons.
But going to the Denver welfare share, right? What's our options if they don't, if they say no, then what, then why do you get a free,
Yeah,
right? Then they should block it off.
oh yeah, if it's owned by the government, they should have.
To the yellow one.
They should be able to block it off,
Or barriers, or
yeah, or something.
and then they might say, okay.
But I just trying to remember wrong, or,
They shouldn't let it sit.
Yeah, I mean, now they're just getting a free benefit, good on pay, that's okay.
So on this,
So it was, I think the middle part or the latter part of last year is when we were actually, digging into this because, yeah, we noticed, okay, so there hasn't been any payments.
Right.
Yeah, so hopefully that gets resolved.
But so, can you, who are those establishments here that are, you know?
Well, there we have Payless, we have, Bank Pacific, we have, American Grocery,
Also, the gas station, right?
What about mobile in, 76? I mean,
yes, my understanding is starting from mobile traffic light down to Payless traffic
That's a.
light. So, I might be wrong about mobile, but that's my understanding.
That's about carrier. Just say, hey, you wanna negotiate, you wanna use it for free, well, we're gonna go, we're gonna block our parking lot.
So,
Private citizens can do it, why can't the government?
So, that's the situation. Okay. So again, the balances here, may fluctuate only because when we do, PFR or a requisition, depending on who the PO is awarded to, it may be more than what we allocated or maybe less, so the amount here may change. And, definitely does change because, we've had, requisitions at a lower amount, and then of course we had to amend the amount because the lowest bidder was higher than what we anticipated, so. And then of course, also, because last fiscal year ended, there were some POs that we had to liquidate. But of course, the new process now for that is there's a release of claim that has to be signed by the vendor.
Interesting, you know that.
So, of course, that's another,
Another red tape,
we have to,
another red tape to go over to.
yeah, so we have to give the release of claim to the vendor and they have to sign on, so. Okay, so for our FY '26 appropriated funds, our general fund is $12,984. Our MCOG operations general fund is $15,786.75. Our miscellaneous operations is $39,475.55. Our one educational facilities funds is $18,172.86. And our limited gaming fund is $10,285.63. So again, the limited gaming fund is, there's a restriction on that, so it can only be used for like sports, recreational facilities, repairs, whatever. Anything that deals with recreational facilities. We just can't use it for just anything. It's specific. Any questions?
I got a question regarding, like, during our meetings, sometimes during the Zoom, can we, ask, have like a monthly subscription, or we can need it for Zoom?
We could, I just don't know.
How much it is, right?
No,
Or like, is it necessary, or the way that we've been doing Zoom has been okay?
So if you want to do, there is a free option, but it's just that they'll limit the time.
That's,
And then will be too, right? I don't believe so.
Yes, you're limited to a 200 unless it's changed. I had an account before, but I unsubscribed because I wasn't using it much. Unless they changed it, it was like $15 a month.
That's an option. I don't think that, I believe it's, now 72 number.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we should try to get that.
We can look at that, we can look at options. Because I know there's also, what is it?
Google Meet.
There's Google Meets.
Yeah.
Google Meet is free and it's free.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That actually would come out better.
So maybe we should try to meet the next, so people are not available.
Yeah. Okay, we'll look into that.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to our non-appropriated funds, and this is our checking account. Our balance as of March 31st was $25,025.59. Of course, we had some deposits, $500, $300 from GCDL for their donation to for the Easter, and as a matter of fact, we got that on March 30th. And then 2 checks for civil weddings, January and February. January, $150, February, $50. Of course, interest, I don't know what the interest is because I have not received the statement. So, total, balance is 25,525.59. And then our expenditures, ET Construction, and this is for, the Vice's, NETA QC3 grant, that was awarded, last year, April, 20,000, so, of that, 14,500 was what was paid out to, the contractor. You notice outside, there's a sidewalk going around,
Where? So,
around
around the softball field?
the senior
No,
center.
just around the
Oh,
side.
okay. That's wrong.
Yeah, around the senior
Oh, okay,
center.
I noticed that design.
Yes. So that's the 14,500. And then of course, going back to the revenues, we had, cash donations of, $200 from Atua softball, $500 from Northern Construction, and $40 from the Prius. So of course, that money that was donated, we used that for, prizes for the eggplant, which totaled $727.29. And then, March 30th, $4,669.48 for Home Depot, and this is under the QC3 grant. And then, of course, the service charge for March is not incorporated in this. So the total expenditure is $19,896.77, which leaves a balance of $5,628.82. Okay, but keep in mind that, of that, the balance for the grant is $830.52. So of the $5,628.32, $830.52 is, for the grant.
So we had, besides Viva, I believe they are allowing us an extension. We're just waiting on the approval, or the approval letter. So once we get that, the last purchase that is to be made is the purchase of topsoil. And once that's in, everything else is, ready to go. So it's just a matter of putting the dirt into the ground.
So less than 852, our balance is 4,798.30. And then, of course, the balance from the donations from the eggplant, Tua Northern and the Reese's, $12.71. Any questions?
If you're happy with the effort.
Yes, thank you guys thank you to the council members who, donated, prizes, eggs, refreshments. The kids enjoyed themselves, and hopefully next year, we can have it at Joe Paris with their playground is ready.
Oh, that's the only reason why it wasn't.
And there's construction on the,
Yeah.
after school.
Okay, so any questions on the financial?
Motion to approve the financial report?
The second,
Okay, so there's a motion to approve the financial report. Any objections? No objections? So, okay, moving on to mayor's report. Again, going back to the eggplant, we also have some businesses who donated. We solicited and who donated, paid us, Peggy's, Ravens, Wonderland. This is the one behind Epic Wong and Google that play court.
Yeah.
Northern Construction, GCBL, PIC, Micronesia Mall, and glimpses of Guam Formals. So they were the ones who donated some prizes for the eggplant. Okay. And like I said, hopefully Del Paris, they run the spring next year. We wanna try and have it at all the schools so that, as far as families within the area, it's more accessible to them.
I don't know how to, I guess, I don't have a suggestion on how to solve something that I saw. Couple of people just like put all the food on it, and yeah, if they want to eat it, it's fine, but like let other people have some too. There were some people that just like
Grab the whole lot, yeah.
yeah, and like 30 cookies and it's just, and so the problem that has or that creates is that the other people that are in the back of the line, they get to the table, there's nothing. So we should
Control the freeze package.
or have someone to pass out.
I was there, I was happy.
Get volunteers,
It
yeah.
was a little bit hard because there was no lot of everybody was coming in there, so I honestly, I got 40, whoever made it, I was
Yeah.
there. I gave, oh, you want a cookie? Yeah.
But I saw some people walking out with like,
Yeah, there was nothing, at that point, there's nothing we can do, but you're right, we will more proactive and shit.
What we did on Christmas, I don't know if you recall, but
yes,
it's just the children, you tell the children to line up. And,
Yeah, you let them go
Yeah,
first,
let them go.
yes,
Yes.
I was thinking, there was a lot of student volunteers there.
Yes.
Maybe let them
Yes.
dish it out. But it only take about 6 of them to do that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take a whole army, but.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, and then I saw other people go to the table and there was nothing left, I was like,
I know. There's always, improvement.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yes, sure.
definitely.
There's even people that were doing it before we opened the table, but, we also don't know what their circumstances are.
Right.
That might have been, well,
We have to be very sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I don't know how to,
Yeah.
we get that.
we just have to just, yeah.
Especially like that culture, everyone.
Yeah, I think repackaging it next year will be a lot easier, so we just have to be a little bit more, organized and in that part on our side to.
That's nice there, have the kids come up first, and
Yeah.
then the adults later. And still prepackaged, but have the kids come up
Yes,
whatever
exactly.
time.
Right,
But yeah, it was a good turnout.
It was.
And, I was surprised that we ended early. I think what helped is, last year, we were doing the kids' raffle tickets, so that's what took times we were doing raffle. But this year, as soon as I knew it was, we just stick the raffle ticket in the eggs, and so that worked out.
Yeah, that was a really big
Yeah, so.
system.
That was good.
I was gonna suggest something for next year with the envelope, but I don't know if we could do with all those kids. So instead of, what, I was at my relatives, so they did an Easter egg hunt with the kids, and the eggs were empty. So my cousin told the kids, do not open the eggs because the eggs are empty. So she had a little store set up.
Oh, yeah.
So they had, so 3 eggs will be worth this price, 5 eggs will be worth this price. And if it's a whole lot of kids, that's kind of, that would take a long time.
Yeah.
It's just a suggestion. Yeah,
But then we have to ensure that we have enough prizes
Yeah.
for them.
And these are just trinkets, trinkets that the kids can afford, that's what they did. But I thought,
And they got to choose.
yes,
If
like I have
you
to
came up with
yes.
a ticket, right, and it's matched to a prize,
Right,
then you get that prize, you don't get to choose.
yeah, and the eggs come back empty, and you could redo it like, oh, and then you have eggs that will be ready for next year. It's just, it's just a suggestion, but if that's all kids, it's gonna be a long time.
So I thought of that because we've done it 2 years already with my family, but
Yeah.
the process of that, and you have to have a lot of prizes. 2, it's the kids get so excited and then,
Yeah.
with the amount of kids that we do get, I mean,
Yeah, I think the way that it is, I think that's perfect for, how it's, because it was a lot more, I think they learned from the first year was a little bit more, chaotic, but this year was really smooth. It was actually very, very smooth. I mean, it's just, I was just so neat that I saw the kids didn't break their eggs, they handed it back. And by the time my cousins were done with all their kids, they had all their eggs back. All of them, except the golden egg, whatever, but all the eggs came back for the leader. And that's just the way to save it,
So that's a suggestion for next year. We'll just have to figure out how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it by age group,
Okay. Okay, so moving on to the VWQC grant. So today it was the deadline for the final reporting, however, Monday, we submitted a letter requesting for the extension of 6 months. Just so that, because I know the boys have purchased some seedlings, so just to give ample time for those seedlings to sprout. Because really that was part of the final report is, the growth of the plants, any harvest of vegetables or fruits. So, we requested for, extension and then also to, reprogram some of the funding. Because whatever funding that is not used has to be returned. So, 20,000, that wasn't much, but, we can always use every penny of that, for whatever, that's pending. So, hopefully that they do, grant the extension. I haven't heard the word. I called today, but the one who's handling this was out. So, hopefully, tomorrow when I call, that she's able to, give us a, answer on that. Otherwise, we would have to return the money. The child care, or the village community care fund, this is a $600,000, grant. So I received an email from Joy Esperanza. They are going to, or I don't know if they're doing it right now. They're doing a detailed testing for Yigo for the grant. And that's because of, the whole issue of no funding and no documents. So they did email asking for documents, and I explained to them whatever the documents they had, that's all that I have. But outside of that, I don't have. So of course, again, there was that letter from the OPA, recommending, appropriate legal or administrative action. So, how does the council want to proceed with this?
When there's, when I'm having the documents, or
So,
who are they recommending that action?
no, so that letter was sent to me from OPA, because they reviewed everything and, whatever, my meeting was with, Joy Esperanza at the time. The letter mentioned, high risk for possible government corruption. Not on our part, because this was back in.
Oh, not your time. Is this all?
And this started because I was trying to request for the documents for the reimbursement for the FEMA project.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the amount of that is $129,502.56.
And no
That's-
documentation
no.
over that.
That amount is reimbursable to Yigo
Yeah,
if we provide the documents, supporting documents.
but it wasn't during the term, right?
No,
That-
no documents, and so that's the reason why the OPA sent that letter, recommending, appropriate legal action or administrative, so, and again, going back to the reason why I was requesting for those documents is in fact to request for the reimbursement.
Okay, so I just want to be clear, so if that's the recommendation and that's the course of action to take, it's not gonna be against us
No,
or you, it'll be against the previous
his staff or his hours.
Yes, you did.
Okay. I just wanted that clear. I told myself, like, oh.
No.
Okay, I get it now.
So, again, this started because I was requesting for documents so that we can proceed with the reimbursement, from FEMA. So, just so you know that, the deadline is the end of the year, this year. So, if we don't do anything, and we don't get the documents, we lose 129,000. That can be reimbursed to Yigo.
So what's our next step in proceeding and
Yeah.
trying to?
So,
We gotta go to
the
a
AG's.
lawyer or what, the
You
AD?
can go to the AG's office, get some guidance, you know,
Let's see
on
where,
their, what is it, their criminal side, right?
yeah.
Well, in our government corruption, section, and, but as you can see, they're batting 0 for 6 now. Hopefully that, you know, they can get, results with our situation. But the past 6 corruption cases they brought have all flatlined. So, that's one of the things, but at the end of the day, the desire end state is to get those documents or determine if the documents didn't exist. Because if the documents never existed, then we're just SOL, we're not gonna get those funds back, right? But if the documents exist, then just give it to us so we can get the funds back, you know?
Okay, so is that what we're trying to get?
Yes.
So the documents that I'm trying to get is one, the invoice or the billing, two, proof of payment, which is the check.
Yes. There has to be, if they make checks, there has to be some record of it at whatever bank they were at, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So-
We can also try to, I mean, do we know what the vendor was that did the work? We can try to get it from them, because they had to have a check they got cash.
But did you try that? Did you try that?
No, I don't want to communicate with the vendor, only because I was going through the AGs from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that all got transferred to OPA, and that's how this whole audit came about.
And will the OPA have the power to, if they find out who the bank was that produced the check or took the check in, they would have the power to request to the bank copies of that check, right?
I don't know, are they?
Yes,
Well, when they do audits and investigations, they can ask, anyone can ask.
Right.
Whether or not they
Yeah.
get it is a different question.
And-
Definitely the AG can subpoena,
Yes, they
right?
have a subpoena power for records,
Mhm.
but,
OPA, it's OPA, because we're being audited and that's the fact.
yes, and what they have to get, it may be, correct me if I'm wrong, it may be a court order, but it has to be signed by a judge or something to have them produce.
Oh, no, but the OPA doesn't go through the court. They can request just on their own authority.
Okay, they don't need to have like what
No.
AGs or what the judicial, the lawyers have to have a stamp on the court, no? Okay.
They don't use the same process as they do.
Okay. Well, hopefully they do that for us and we find out.
So, that being said, I received an email from FEMA because when there's a project under the disaster, they have this, it's called a CATC, or management cost. So the management cost is up to 5% of the total amount of the project. So in this case, management cost would be $6,465. It's not much, but hey, we could sure use it. This year, the management cost is used to pay if we're doing disaster-related work, as in obtaining documents, doing documents, site visits, meetings with FEMA. These count towards the cat seat. So, that's an additional $6,475 if we get all the documents.
Right.
So, you know,
So also like the federal agency, because they should have, there's always a report there, right? Go, it's like Yigo Municipal, the Yigo, they have to report some expenditure to, the federal agency, right?
yeah, that's,
They have a record.
no, so they would only have the record if the agency provides it.
Yeah, yeah. But nothing there.
So,
I know
So-
that with all the, I'm sorry, I know with all the technology they have, there has to be some kind of, somewhere.
So, just to be clear though, this is money the Yigo mayor's office at the time spent, didn't keep the receipts. We could get it reimbursed from FEMA, but if not, then we don't get the reimbursal, but at the end of the day, there's no chance that we're gonna have to pay something.
no,
See,
no.
so it's just a matter of we're just trying to
because-
recoup
Yeah,
what
what it
we
is,
spent.
right, because these are repairs that were already made,
Mhm.
so whatever expenditure, and this is specifically for the soccer field and the basketball court.
Right,
Other than how FEMA determined this expenditure of $189,000, there's no document.
No, so what it is, so how it works is the mayor's office will put in a request, damage assessment. They will come out, do an assessment, look at whatever, and they will estimate, okay, this is how much it's gonna cost you to repair. So,
Oh, okay, now.
yeah. And then the mayor's office pays for it to get repaired and then sends the receipt to FEMA.
Right.
FEMA will reimburse, but
Yeah.
what's missing is the invoice and
yes,
the.
yes, the proof of payment and the invoice.
This is a big amount where the previous administration got $189,000. It should be from the mayor's council.
No, so the money that was used, if you remember, they got 100,000 in the beginning. This was after Manawa.
Each mayor's.
Each mayor's office got 100,000, and then later on, they got that 500,000. So
Each mayor.
each mayor,
Yeah, each
Each
mayor has
mayor.
600,000.
so that money was given to the planning council. So the planning council deposited that into their checking account. So of course, every repair that they did was paid out of that funding.
Because the only bank that's getting close to Yigo is Bank of Guam,
So,
Well, the thing is, through the bank, we can get the proof of payment, but the key part there that's still missing is the invoice. And the invoice can only come from the mayor's records or the vendor.
Once we have the check and we know the vendor, we can ask the vendor to pay you for an invoice.
Right, they should keep a copy of all their invoices.
Because those are top important things.
so until such time, we can't get that reimbursement. So that money is just there, and, I hate to lose that money.
Right.
Free money,
Nothing better than that.
yeah. So,
So hopefully we can resolve this.
so what I,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, so what I plan to do is, I'm gonna call the lady's office and see how we can, proceed with this, because, all along, I mentioned it to the AGs when I first, Lee Miller, he's the one that I first spoke to. Same thing with the OPA. I just said, all I'm asking is documents, I don't care about anything else, I just want the documents with this, that's it, that's it.
Or you just present it, so.
Yeah. So,
With the OPA, it's mentioned that,
statement that is possible.
That's based,
High risk.
right, that's based on the letter from
Corruption.
OC.
Does that put you, as a current mayor, in?
No.
No.
And what I mean is to say is, being that they advise you of this, and you don't make any movement on it, you know, that you're responsible, because, you know, you know about this now, so kind of this is a situation where we have to. move
Yes,
forward.
well,
We have to do
definitely, I'm gonna take that step, I'm going to do that, but
But you
it's just the
yeah,
approach.
you already contacted OPA, they know our situation, the AG, nobody knows.
So it's just a matter of, you know, how do we approach this? Do I go directly to the AGs and, you know,
Whenever any government agency orders anything from me, they're like, you don't get paid until we get that invoice. So there's always,
Something.
there's gotta be an invoice. They will not make a payment without the invoice. And so the invoice has to exist somewhere.
You know, the thing is, we have to know first who's the vendor and who is the bank. Then we can ask the, you know,
Yeah.
once we do, we can ask the
Well, you know, if we get the already cash check, it will, hopefully, if they're doing their thing right, it will have who the.
But see, the bank account from that council is not the same as the bank account from this.
No, I don't, no, it has nothing to do with us, it's just getting that bank account from the previous.
Correct.
Previous one.
If it was a continuous bank account, then this would have been solved.
Right.
So any time the secretary money goes to BOA, right? From BOA, they will communicate with DNR, to establish an account. Making sure there's a money there, so it's coming from BOA.
no, so this is totally separate from the OE.
Yeah.
This is a grant,
Yeah. And
this is a grant that was,
Went directly.
it was coming from VITA, but it's being monitored by public health.
Yes.
So,
The problem is, it went to the general account of the council. And so the oversight is, there's no oversight.
so,
Apparently not, because we're in limbo right now because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of no oversight. Being in limbo, yeah.
okay, so that's my plan is I'm just gonna call the AG's office and just, okay, this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I need guidance on, so.
Yeah.
You know,
Or either also OPA.
Yeah, they just made in.
OPA, ON, both, you know,
Yeah.
yes, so
okay, so,
OAG and, you know.
Because we could use that money.
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the GDP grant, that cultural and heritage, so I know we talked about doing an event. So initially the carnival during the fiesta, but because it was a week away when they called us to say, hey, you're approved, yeah, I don't want to deal with having to rush. So, I know we were talking about doing an international food market and food festival, or some sort of food festival. Do we still want to do that?
Sure. It's something that nobody else is doing right now.
Yeah.
It'll be novel.
Is this for our, yes?
No, we just
Just
pick a date.
outside,
Just pick a date and have it.
yeah, so I'm looking at towards maybe June,
I was gonna say, June is the month where a lot of the,
yeah.
it's
So
open, pretty much
we
open.
have to, yeah, we have to go by the schedule, because we don't want to impose our event, and there's another village having, so we don't want to have it on the same day. And that's the reason why they threw out that calendar of events, is so that we can pick a date that's not,
Yeah,
that's not tied to another event.
for international.
Okay, so does anybody want to spearhead that? Anybody?
I'm leaving you. Sorry.
Okay, so,
We'll ask the other members that have.
Okay. Okay, so I just put it out, just hopefully that, maybe we can make some progress on this.
You really can ask GCC.
Because we still have to submit an application, the grant application.
Well, you can ask GCC students.
Or some essentials, they have a fast start, what is it called, fast start? Or low start, and maybe we can turn that into a fundraiser for them, because if they win, they have to go all out, and international, make it international food thing, and with entrance fees. And, just throwing that out, because the Coast Guard, if they win, they qualify them to compete in reference, and that's culinary stuff. Okay, so you can ask the Simon Sanchez, Coast Guard, group to try to, if they want to spread that.
Yeah, or GCC doing
Yeah.
This is the following incentive. ProStar is a GCC program.
Oh, okay. This is a high school, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you ask the students, obviously they're gonna have a teacher
Yeah.
advisor, right? So we're not just kidding.
Okay. Well, that's an idea for the kids, especially because a lot of them, they always try to raise funds for their club, their organization, so. Okay, so hopefully come next meeting, we'll have somebody who wants to spearhead this. Okay, moving on, so I met yesterday with Dr. Barry Kim, who's from UOG, the water and, water and environmental,
Research.
The ones out like Marina,
so, this whole issue with the children, so his team, they're seeking residents to participate in Yigo. Actually, they're doing it island-wide. So they're seeking residents who want to participate in a septic system study and household survey. And this involves completing a short survey and a home visit by the UOG researchers. And they will also take wastewater sampling. So the criteria for that is it has to be a single home, single family dwelling. You have to be a GWA customer, of course, running water. And then you have to be with a septic tank. You're not hooked up to the sewer. Yeah. Those are the 3 criteria. So they're looking for participants. And then what happens is we have a sign-up sheet at the office, and it'll ask for your contact number and your email. Because what they'll do is they'll go back and email you or make contact with you. And making, I don't know, maybe an appointment to come by. So, yeah, they're asking for residents to participate.
Is there an incentive for participation?
They're trying to get, like, maybe, the gas stations to give like coupons or something, gas cards. But, as of, yesterday, they don't. So, if you know anybody, just.
Asking for in a specific location in Yigo? Just
No,
in Yigo?
it's
Anyone that-
anywhere, because yes, that's what I had asked, are you only looking for those areas or like, no? No. It's whoever,
So in order to participate, they need an email about homeowner?
no, first, the participant has to, sign in and sign that they're going to participate, the sign-in sheet is at the office.
Oh, okay.
You have to be, on septic tank,
Yeah, those criteria.
yeah, single dwelling and,
Can you,
yeah, very much.
how many pages is the form?
The
For
form.
application form?
No, it's just a sign-in sheet.
Oh, sign
You just sign in, yeah. Just sign in
at
and,
the mayor's office.
At the mayor's office, there's a sign-in sheet, you sign in, and then, they will make contact with you.
And then how do they know that they signed in at your office?
Because, what he'll do is he will call the office.
Okay.
Yes.
And then they'll get a hold of you through your email or
Yes.
whatever contact you get,
Yes.
that you have given them.
So, I know they just sent a flyer,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna post that on the
Why is it?
chat and the YMCC. Yes. Yes. Okay. Hawaiian Rock, last meeting, Mr. Felix Benavente was here. He gave a presentation about, the reactivation of the quarry on, Mount San Rosa. So they are required to conduct a informational public meeting. Yeah. So their village meeting is on Wednesday, April 15th, that's next week Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the gym. Okay, so, they have to meet this prior to resuming the farming, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Yes. They will be publishing the notice on the Daily Post on Friday, this Friday, April 10th, and Monday, April 13th. So again, that meeting, is for Wednesday, April 15th, 6 p.m. at the gym. So, I'm asking the council members to please show up.
When you gonna publish on this?
On Friday, this Friday, and next week, Monday, are the two notices that they're going to.
Will other, rules of, notification be made? Just, I only ask because I know how those areas specifically, it has to try to develop the rates, so it's like, do first this, and then we guys ask you to do more this, I would imagine that people want to have some sense of, I guess to be present and to have any questions answered.
So I did mention to Mr. Benavente, the following week is that, if he has a flyer, that we can post it at the office, at the gym. We can even have, one of the staff post it on the Yigo chat, on the Channel chat. Yeah. So that's pretty much, how we were doing it is.
So it'll be just their representatives from Hawaii. That will
I'm
answer the
hoping-
public's question, right?
I'm hoping that they're there because I'm sure that there's going to be questions that, Mr. Benavente may not be able to answer, so.
Yeah, remember the last meeting that I brought up the road situation?
Right.
And you didn't have a complete good answer, you said it, yeah, it's not too sure.
So I'm hoping that, they do have their representative there. Okay, so that's next week, Wednesday, April 15th, 6 p.m. Ways in the villages. This is the Guam Coalition Against Sexual Assault and Family Violence. They're doing their annual wave in the villages. So, and this is to recognize April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Child Abuse Prevention Month, Youth Month, and National Crime Victims' Rights Week. So the wave is scheduled for Tuesday, April 21st, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. And this will be along Route 1 where the old amusement park. So, it's just for 1 hour. And they're inviting everyone to come out and show support. Okay, so, definitely, the mayor's office is gonna be there. So, we are inviting the council members to come out also. And this is for Tuesday, April 21st.
It's 4:30.
4:30 to 5:30. And this is, it's not only people, it's item one. Yes. Moving on, CDGDR, the housing program. So you know that, fits and sits. So the housing program is one of the programs that, they are doing. And the launch date for Guma Not Make Homes Good, housing program is on April 30. And this date serves as a 30-day notice of upcoming application period. So beginning April 30, digital applications will be accepted, and this is only online. There's no, so a valid active email address is required for all applicants to complete and manage their application. And it's interesting because, a resident had asked me about this, because, this one here, if the resident had applied for FEMA assistance and didn't get the help, they're able to avail to this program. It's just a matter of doing it digitally.
That's, it's not requirements to reach out.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know what the
What
requirements
requirements are, but
Yes,
just assume.
Yes.
I could be wrong.
so the launch date is April 30. So from April 30, they will accept digital applications. I know, I tried to call, Dura, the one who's handling this, but the one who's handling this was out for lunch. So, I wanted to get some information as to if there's a flyer that they can share to give the residents an idea of what they need, the requirements and stuff like that.
And the criteria.
Yes, so, I will call them tomorrow again. But, yes, April 30 is when they're going to launch. Any questions? Okay, one Guam cleanup initiative. I received an email from Genesis Babalta, and she's collaborating with all the villages. This one Guam cleanup it's kind of like the Guam coastal cleanup. It's kind of like mirroring that. Just getting volunteers, just going out there. What they're asking is if there's a area here in Yigo, maybe a few areas here in Yigo that we can identify priority to do cleanup. My thing is the place where they always dump. You know, when these guys are out there cutting grass, they're finding all these illegal dump sites. So I'm hoping that we can get a few sites in there for the cleanup. And this will take place on May 16th, so it's about a month. So May 16th from 9 to 12. So, of course, they're asking for volunteers. And they're gonna work with the businesses in getting donations for trash bags, but of course, that's something that we can also provide. So it's just a matter of getting volunteers.
And the ice cream.
Yes.
For the servicemen, right?
Yes.
Servicemen, right?
But by then, they might be out of school.
When is it, May?
May 16th.
Was it? I might be asking.
Genesis is a guy, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, sounds like a girl. What's
I was assuming you.
It's a very vocal.
Because the email said Jen Babanta, I'm like, okay. So I wasn't sure if it was a male or female.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that was in the news recently here, complaining about the road to GW.
Oh, okay.
He's very vocal, he's a community,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so,
that's great stuff.
so again, that's for May 16th, so it's still a ways out, but I will check the school and see if they're still in session.
So if you guys do have suggestions on cleanup areas, I know you can give a long list. Just in case.
How about the meeting, our meetings, where people keep trying to side by easy. Because it's very hard to clean, say, for example, zero down.
And also,
Because if you clean that, people are still.
we just had one with G3 Guam Green Grove, just like last month. So we did zero down. They wanted to clean one area to set up their canopy and satellite area, water and all of that. They spent the whole day cleaning up the one area, and they didn't even hit the strip. So then now this week we're over there cutting, And that is that you run the riding mower over the grass, you're not even hitting the grass, you're hitting cans, yeah, you're rolling bottles and stuff, so. Yeah, so they things like that, and then once you clear up, because we made it nice, they're one side that we cleaned up, made it nice, and then they took it as home, now we can go.
Yeah.
That's not a
It
one
was,
day,
yeah, I mean,
That's a few,
Yeah.
months
yeah.
we,
of preparation for that.
you know, we go there, we clean it up, and then it just gets trashed.
Because, they can't see them dumping, so they're gonna keep doing it until we.
You know, as a matter of fact, GWA, messaged me, there's a water pump, the pump station, where Sanchez, they've been dumping there. So, I know that I did mention to you about, seeing, getting the guys out there to clean that, because, but, yeah, it's a never ending thing, clean it up and come and dump again, so, we're just trying, but, so hopefully with this initiative, that the people come out and, support and, hey, it's all about taking ownership. So,
And, not to be, negative about it, but, like you guys are saying, every time you get clean, if it gets done, it's not gonna get solved until it gets serious, the government gets serious about enforcement, penalties, like they do in Singapore or whatever. But one of the problems is, long as so big and you can't be everywhere all the time, but technology nowadays, you can install, cameras up on, high up on the telephone pole so that they can get to it, and then someone monitor that, and then, conservation officers or whatever, monitor that, and they see activity, go get them.
Find them,
But it's gonna take that kind of,
it's coming down to that.
yeah, well, it's gonna take that kind of like drive
Yeah.
from the government, that kind of, seriousness about the situation.
Signs,
Otherwise-
otherwise.
Otherwise, we can have a cleanup every weekend,
Yes.
and it's not gonna really.
so same thing with the tires.
Mhm.
So just last month, the staff and the bikes, so there was that illegal dumping behind the gym. Just that site alone,
I saw that.
they rounded up, 800 tires. 800 tires, and then again, they went to one area, they rounded up like, maybe another 700 tires.
Wasn't on the previous year, wasn't there construction people who were right next to the gym and power plant that were parking and stuff, were there, you think they're trying to claim that?
So one thing that, the vendor could not accept was commercial tires.
Right.
And we had a good number of commercial tires, right, so,
Oh,
you never know, yeah,
remember right after those people, whoever they were, some construction company,
yeah.
was set up between the
Yeah.
gym and the power, they were right here.
Yeah,
Those tires came from them before they were ordered to clear out.
but that was only everything, luckily she was able to, how much you request for 2,000?
So we put in because they asked, okay, give us a number of how many tires, this is tires with and without wood. So we said, okay, 2,500 tires. You guys transported what,
Yeah, around 2,000, yeah.
2,000 some tires?
So I do right, the just average unit was at 800,
Yeah,
and
just.
for example, right, like, Gil Waza in, or, yeah,
Yeah.
Gil was in East Cameron. We filled up maybe 4 trailers, 4 truckloads in one afternoon. And then by the time we exhausted the amount of tires we could seen it, tires just kept on that after that.
Well, you know what? The dumper is not an individual, it has to be a business for that much.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know what? The business charges us for disposal fee
Right.
every time, so they pocket that money, and then instead of disposing it, they go and dump it. It's a business that's doing that, or multiple businesses that's doing that. It's not an individual, an individual doesn't have that many tires.
And what
Maybe, it's just a
Change
market.
size of 5 years.
permit something, mark it within the time, so if it's not, you knew exactly who you turned it into. Because Pete's right, it could be the same old time as you turned it, and they're dumped her right back out.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah. And then mark it with something permanent, all of the time.
Yeah, so, again, hopefully people come out for this, cleanup. Okay, so moving on, AK, email, they have this here for the bill. What it is, every, test drive is worth $35. That they will give back to the village for whatever festivities that we're doing. $35, up to $2,000. So $35 per test drive.
But they have to tell them all this from Yigo or?
I think so. They didn't really give much, information. If we wanted to participate, I just have to email them that. So definitely, anything.
And the school every day for the next 30 days.
Yeah.
So each and every one of their laws.
But you are liable, once you pick a car up, you're liable, so if something happens, it's your name.
Just go on.
If you have USA, no matter what car you drive, you can tell them.
So $35 a test drive, up to $2,000. They will give back. And this is to support the village programs.
That's a good incentive.
Yeah, it is.
But to make sure you get the criteria, is there a catch after you?
They have to buy the car.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you're gonna sit there.
Okay.
Really gonna sit there.
Yeah.
Every day. They have to wear their self-stitch.
All day. But they have coffee and everything.
Yeah, so, that's another, way to, get free money. Moving on, CLTC lot 7055. The last board meeting, thanks to Jordan and Pete and the vice, we were there. Unfortunately, they tabled the discussion, because they were waiting on UWA's correspondence as to their plans. Because there was a bill that was passed that reserved 29 acres for GWA. So the lot itself contains 42 to 43 acres. So the public law that was passed reserved 29 of that, 29 acres. So they tabled the discussion on that, again waiting on GWA. So again, for every water well, there has to be 1,000 feet radius outside of the well. Yeah, so
And they want
How much are we gonna get?
4 or 5.
4 or 5,
In one
yeah.
year.
So how much of that we're gonna get? But, if we have to seek other, property, then, I kind of like that one because everything will be in the vicinity of the church. Only makes sense, but we'll see.
Because my understanding of the first person has been, they had the opportunity to build those roads for multiple years.
And nothing has been done,
Yes, and
that
then,
has not been developed since,
and then, right,
and then,
Yigo has had this in the plans.
and then all of a sudden, when we requested, oh, they have a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
GWA, I think that they were planning back then for the build-up, and then now that the build-up's actually happening, I think that's why they're gonna try to move forward with it. It was supposed to happen 20 years ago. 25
Yeah.
years ago.
Yes.
So,
Like the one that mayor said that you can't even control one row with this children and they want to put more.
okay, so, when they do put, this back on the agenda, I will let you guys know. GCDL started their league. There's 33 teams. This is the basketball league. So it's Saturdays, their game starts at 5 o'clock, Sundays at 4 o'clock. So if you have nothing to do those days, you can go on and
This is
check it out.
instructional.
Yes, 33 teams, and interesting, the wives and I, we had to, they had the judging for uniform. Oh, yeah, the opening, how do you judge, how do you choose out of 33 teams?
That's your team going to be there?
Well, that was two division, the junior and the senior. So, yeah, that was a lot of.
And then on top of the jerseys, right? They came up to us and said, you guys have to judge the best news. And they were like, we thought music, right? And it's just music.
No.
You can't use. Like, that's the, who looks the most beautiful. And then so the team sent up females, right, to model for us. One team went up with, it was one, they said, guys, it's two daughters. And they were like, let's do the, kids. Then the guy comes up and tells us, oh, you can't go for the kids.
Not the kids.
I was like, oh my gosh,
You want to set up the kids there, right?
Yeah.
they're trying to figure out who's the most beautiful. It was interesting, and they enjoyed themselves.
Is this an opportunity for the high school kids to do fundraising? I mean, can they vend at these,
Oh, like, sell stuff like.
sell water? or
I'm sure they could.
Maybe.
Who's the head of who organizes that?
Ramon, there's Dave Sellers, there's, Dave Sellers, there's.
Or even just food vendors that want to donate.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never done it,
Yeah.
so.
'Cause I always, when I pass by the soccer field in Denver, I always see vendors out there. 'Cause it's like a bajillion people there.
At the soccer field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when, no, there used to be this vendor that, around where they walk. Guys selling juices and as, you know, the Walmart.
I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah.
It's a way for them to make money. Likewise with the soccer field, when we ran the field, we told the kids, okay, so, I did inform the school, we informed the school that we're gonna give them, priority because you know how all the organizations are trying to raise money, the clubs. So that was an opportunity, but, they didn't jump on it. But we have, what is it, the Cow Ripkins.
Yeah,
They only did that for a
They
few,
only did it for 3 hours, and even just for a few hours.
but then I found out because, I guess their league, I don't know what division their league started already.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, but anyways, yeah, that's an idea. That's an idea. Moving on to,
Since we're talking about the construction we could do, if we talk to the organizer, right, those guys, and check if they did any work on the last winter or fixing. No, they might know, honestly, they might say, oh yeah, it was this company or these guys who did it. They might know, you never know, they might have information. That's just a suggestion, right?
Do we know what work was really done?
Because, they,
work was done,
yeah, work was done.
at the gym, but I'm talking about the soccer field.
No, they might know. Who did it.
Oh,
Yeah, they
No,
might.
but I'm asking, does anyone remember that work was actually done? Anyone say that work was actually done?
I'll see, I'll do my, what
You
I
put out your
usually,
fingers.
The something I think, reps for this week.
yeah, I'll ask her to ask the organizer. To ask her, I'll ask, because if I were mayor, right? And I the field fixed because our fence fell down and blah, 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 we have the funds, you can suggest a company or who can do it, right? That's all I need is the name of somebody and then we can work from there.
Yeah.
I just, bring in my own job, bring in my own job.
Okay.
I'll ask you guys. Is that, I mean, it's just a
I mean,
suggestion.
doesn't hurt to ask.
We could, and if they know somebody, then we'll go from there. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about this, talking about that.
Okay, last item, the senior citizen center renovation, as you guys, some of you already took a look at the kitchen. It's about 99% complete. Yesterday, site visit was conducted, and this is for the repair of, the leaks, the skylight and the one here, the exit, as well as the windows, changing out the windows, the glass blocks and the front on both sides, remove it and put windows, yes. So, they did the site visit yesterday with the vendor, so it's just a matter of waiting for the price quote and see who comes in at the cheapest. I was hoping, because I did submit the PRF, the requisition for the retiling of the center. While they are working on that and the Monampos are not here, I want to try and get as much done before we bring them back, because I don't want to bring them back and then we have to move them out again. I'd rather we do as much as we can and then, we still have the restroom that we need to deal with. For the meantime, it works, but it's just a matter of upgrading, changing the windows, the tiles, but for the most part, it works. But, of course, for the tiling, the repairs is something that I want to get done before they move back. They were supposed to be back actually since last month. But because, what delayed that is the appeal for the kitchen. And then, of course, everything was built here. The cabinets, they were built here. So, so the only thing that's pending really is just the sanding of the countertop and the iron and polishing. And then that would be done. But for the most part, everything's done. The item that you see there is movable.
Oh, that's good.
It's one of those that you can move around. The only thing is, I had spoken to the contractor, Victor, today. Because I told him, I said, I tried to move it, but I was having a hard time. But then only to realize that the floor is not level.
Alright.
Yeah. So he's like, that's only because the floor's not level. But of course, when they do issue the appeal for the tiling, we want to make sure that they level the floor. So, yeah, the island is on 6 casters. So, but yeah, met with the Monampos and they keep asking when are we going to come back? Okay. Yeah, they're anxious. They're anxious to come back, but what I want to do is I want to make sure that everything is complete. Already there's a PRF for the stove, for the refrigerator, the water dispenser. So that's pretty much what's remaining for the kitchen. So I want to make sure that everything's in place before we bring them back. And the tiles, and whatever else, yeah. So, and then of course, once that's done, I'm also gonna work on repainting the center. Maybe, I was thinking the inside maybe, what is it, eggshell? Eggshell white, or is that what it's called, eggshell? Yeah,
Yeah, there's another extra.
so,
This is called egg yolk.
yeah.
It's, at least extra will be a little brighter there, and I
So, yeah, so, slowly, if you recall, I gave you guys a copy of Mel's list from here on things that they want, done. So I'm slowly checking off that, yes, yes. Because, they deserve it. Again, this building was built in '99. Since then, nothing has been done. No repairs, no nothing. So now, that, we're working on the kitchen, and we want to make sure that, if we're able to do the other stuff, then, why not?
So we've been through the super typhoons.
Yes. Yes. So, and I'm surprised that the skylight is still there. Yeah, it's still, it's holding on, but it leaks. So, definitely we want to address that, because, they're here every day, and, God forbid anything happens.
So, but yeah, that's what it's over, it's
Yes. Yes. So, yeah. Any questions? No? Okay. So, moving on to old business. So again, I know we talked about the liberation, but again, this Friday is the fundraising at Uptown. I posted on the YPC chat the menu. So, and we're also, going to do raffles, so if you guys have any, prizes that you want to donate, that we can raffle off already, I think I have like 10 prizes,
Okay,
11.
bring some.
And then I know that, the candidate from mom has, solicited businesses. I received an email from Bank of Guam just this afternoon.
We received it from Ace Auto today, Ace Auto.
Oh, and Ace Auto, so these are prices, but, if you guys have any, prices that you wanna donate, please feel free.
Is there any leftover oranges that we can?
I heard they were sweet.
I didn't try.
No, and it's all about wine, and she got some, and she said it was
Oh,
sweet.
yes, she did, or message me about that. Okay. Moving on to, GVB destination, we talked about that, my apologies. That's the, grants and aid, that's the one that if we were going to do an event, we could put in a grant application. Okay. Moving on to new business, SS4. SS4 is, it stands for Safe Streets for All. And CPF is, Community Project Funding. And so I got a call from Congressman Moylan's office. They want to avail to these grants. And this is for FY 2027.
Is the CPF?
It's Community Project Funding. So, community project funding, the deadline was March 31st. And so, I've been communicating with this office, because what I did was I submitted a grant application for the senior center, specifically so that we can, whatever repairs that needs to be done that we're not able to do, that this grant will be able to cover. Yes. I want to do an overhaul because,
A government employee deserves that.
Yes, and you know, he being the fireman in him, there's that, what is it, fire alarm, fire panel in there, and only to find out, I never knew what it was for. I knew it had to do with, the smoke alarm or whatever, but it was basically just for the smoke alarm, nothing, yeah, so, you know, and I don't even think it's working. So, yeah,
That would be great if we could, if you could get them onto the congressman.
yes, so,
Those are the major, this is gonna take a couple of, there's different companies that work on.
yeah, so I tell you, every night when I got home from the office, that's exactly what I was doing, is I was just sitting at my laptop and working on that grant. So I was able to submit the grant to them for the senior center. Of course, there were some details that it's like kind of an extra because, this is the first, but, they were good enough to tell me, just turn it in, we'll go through it, and then if there's any questions that we may have that we need you to change, we'll call you, we still have time. So they were very nice about, helping me with that, so, for the most part, I'm looking at everything that, we're doing is gonna cover majority of the repairs that needs to be done. The other things, like maybe the restroom, definitely that's gonna cost us more than we anticipate. Definitely we can't fund that. Either we do one restroom and we don't do the other one. Yeah, so, and that's the reason why I don't want to touch that yet. Hoping that when we get, yes, we can use this to upgrade the restroom.
Those major projects.
Yes, so this was turned in already. And then there was another one that I submitted, was for the replacement of the road and traffic signage. You know, the street names, you name it, everything. Because it was under DPW, and that was one of the questions is, because it's under DPW, they're only doing, the routed roads. I got an email from DPW, they're only doing routed roads, but, for, East Gatineau, which is Route 29, I think there's only that one sign they're doing. So all the other secondary roads, the tertiary roads, they're not covering. So, of course, that was a grant that was the other grant that I got requested. So I'm hoping that, again, this is for FY 2027. There is the other grant, which is the Safe Street for All. And that one there, the deadline to submit is around June or July. But, again, Tanata from Moynihan's office, offered, just turn it in, before the deadline, at least a month before, so that we can go through it. Any questions, anything that we need to change, they're able to, just amend this, just change this. Yeah, so they're very helpful with assisting on the grant. And so, like the Safe Street and Roads for All, it's like walking paths, street lights, these things. Again, I'm hoping that, when we do submit the application, that it gets approved. So, and this is federal funding though. This is federal funding.
Our chances are,
So, the thing about it is, we're competing with all the village mayors. We're competing, so,
You need limit on funds that you ask? How much is the limit?
So, he didn't mention how much is being, given out, but I know, in reading one of his emails, it talks about, the funding can go as high as, 250,000 to 5 million,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
Right?
We have everything to gain, nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You know,
Me, it's kind of very considering, you know.
Is that a very good thing?
Is it only one village?
Is that
No.
give it up opportunity to all villages or just Yigo?
no, so see, I don't know, because again, this is the first that I'm applying for a grant, so, all the other villages are given the opportunity, I don't know if all the villages apply for a grant. Yeah.
Okay. And is there specific, we have earmarked certain things that can only be used for this if we get?
This is subject to the federal.
So what I had to do was I had to, so what I had to do was give a project description.
Okay.
So of course, like, structural repair, reinforcement, interior restoration, and this is for the center.
Right.
Systems repair and modernization, this is the electrical, the HVAC, the ADA, a new backup generator, the water catchment system, because I noticed that they have a water catchment back there, but it's not working. Yeah. So, that's, and then of course exterior, which is the repainting, landscaping. So, I had to give the project description of what the plan was.
I think back when we had our first or sort of council meeting last year, you mentioned like, the walkway, from Rising Zone going
Yes.
here, so.
The walking path, so that falls under the Safe Street and.
It says four.
Yeah, SS4,
Okay,
yes.
so we applied.
So, because the only reason why I did the CPF is because the deadline was March.
Yeah,
So the SS4 deadline is not until between June and July. Yes, so we still have time,
I
so.
want to see that.
Mayor, is that one thing you request to make is there anything to do with the emergency fire alarm? They really have to. That's a good thing.
So,
Mom shut the grammar school.
How about CCTV?
CCTV?
Yeah, for me, like, all
Yeah.
Main Street, like, those, like,
Yeah.
that's jumping
Yeah,
in.
there's a $5 million,
Yeah.
we could request the CCTV for our villages, for that.
Yeah.
And this also, the SS4, we can also,
That's,
apply for, the funding for speed bumps.
Speed bumps, yeah.
And I'm gonna put everything in there that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything, they can always say additional funds.
That's the
Yeah.
You go.
That's-
Shoot for the moon and.
See how far we get.
So what you need, when you apply, is that you need to apply scope, right?
Yes, so how what I did was, I went online and I just like Googled, what is it gonna cost for something, and of course, the prices in the mainland is different from here. So if it costs $100, okay, so that's maybe double, right?
See, 200 to, yeah.
Yeah, double the price of what it's gonna cost here.
Like, the project on Washington all the way to the police station, what you can do is, you can solicit like, for information only. Yeah,
From,
request for information, like how much stuff costs, there's nothing,
Oh.
yeah.
From center.
Oh, okay, home center or this way.
Yeah, but we can ask for, like, request for input at RFI. So, of course, the one, maybe it's like big projects could be doing, so we can ask for RFI.
And one of the things too that I'm also looking at is, you know how the medians and Route 1? If we can get street lights on there. So,
Oh, yeah,
So the only village that has that is Johnny. Yes, along Route 1, there's streetlights on the Nubians.
Right where St. Francis.
Yes,
Circle.
yes, and that's the reason why, because Route 1 is wider, even if we have streetlights along the sides, it's still kind of dark. So if we have streetlights on the Nubians, that'll help.
If we get a award, we get an award, those funds will fall under public works or planning council.
No, with that one there, I know when I was talking to Tanata, she mentioned that we may have to, work with DPW, do an MOA
Okay.
that, and GPA, that, okay, this is what you wanna do. Okay, so you apply for it, we're not going to apply for it, we're gonna do we're gonna do the MOA that you will take care of it, you will fund it, we will manage
And
it.
then the other ones, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe later, we have one.
Because the same thing with the CDBG-DR, the flooding in Piscataway, Mariana Stairs, I have to get an MOA with DPW. Yeah, so.
Okay. That's a good news.
So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for,
It's a lot of, things.
yeah, definitely, and, even if it's little at a time, at least,
So you believe there is hope in anybody existing?
I do understand, I'm so proud of myself.
You need assistance, I can help you.
Okay, yeah, so. Okay, any questions?
No.
Okay, last item is the Liberation Day float. So, the candidate, her father drives for Pacific Trucking. So, she had requested if it was okay for her dad to drive. I don't have any problems, I don't see any reason why not, that's his daughter. So, the mom, suggested that I call Pacific Trucking and see if, I can request for him, and so I called, last week, and, the person that I spoke to, Jess Tata, said, wow, you're the first one to call. So we're gonna put you on the board, a 40-foot trailer, the driver and the truck. Yeah, he said, you're the first one, and mind you that, her dad always drives for Yankees. Yeah, so I said, well, I wanna get that again. But then one day I found out Smithbridge, the vice president Smithbridge is donating their 40-foot trailer. So they're gonna provide it to us
First week in June.
first week of June. So already, yes, I made contact with Pacific Trucking. However, they're not able to provide it until July 3rd. So I'm just going to call them back and tell them, okay, we don't need a trailer.
Just the driver.
Well, we just need the driver and the truck to pull this,
Yeah.
because we're getting it in June.
Yeah.
That gives us a month and a half. Yeah, something like that.
Unless we join both, make it 80 foot.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Yeah.
You
You can get possible about that.
God, you said a longest one.
We'll put it together, then we'll do like a model of the. Everybody.
Yeah, so I just need to call Pacific Trucking to cancel the trailer, but we still want the driver and the truck to pull this trailer. So we're good with that, we don't have any problems with that. It's just a matter now of coming up with a design. I had asked when, the candidate and I attended the meeting for the candidates, the question that I had asked was, do you know what the theme is? Because, that a lot of it revolves on what the theme of this year is. So while we don't know how to proceed with this. So, I heard it may be, but it's just a matter of confirming. I'm not gonna- But, yeah, that's the only thing, is just waiting confirmation. And then, once we know, then we can proceed, okay, this is what we wanna do, this is how we're gonna do it, kind of thing. So, yeah. But other than that, the float, the truck and the trailer is secure, and the guard,
Just need to design, right?
yes. Yes.
Maybe, before you design.
You okay?
If
Well,
we-
we heard, we heard candidate,
Direct decided last year.
Yeah.
Who decided?
Oh,
John.
Yeah, he's good, he's motivated.
Yeah.
It was really like our president last year was happy, but she wasn't upset.
Oh,
Yeah, because we had the only one that had a roof frame.
Yeah, I can be for a candidate.
Yeah. So,
So we already have an idea of what we want on the float.
well, that's great.
And then maybe you live around the first week of the year, I was on a lot too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
You still doing the P?
We were gonna upgrade to college.
Okay.
I don't know about that, but that's something in store for sure. Very rotating kick, but.
No, regarding the album.
I saw that at Carlton Terrace's rally back in '94.
Yeah.
It was. But you did not name it. It was delicious.
We had that one, the little thing in the bid that we're going down Marine Board Drive. That was last year.
Yeah, that's it.
No, but we don't, during Walmart, we had that too.
Oh,
We had the trailer and then we had that small trailer with barbecue.
Yeah.
but it was delicious.
And so,
Your facts.
any questions? No? Okay. Any announcements? Any announcements? No? Just another announcement. Fundraising this Friday.
Yes.
And the tickets, yes. We have tickets. And, of course, door price. If you have any door price you want to donate, and also we want to help with the,
May I have tickets to be print,
uh,
so that small 5,000.
so
It's $15.
Oh,
it's $15.
it is? I
Yes.
didn't even look at it.
So-
75.
So more?
We put it-
Oh, you're 500 on it. 75,000.
7,500.
So,
And then that's
So
not
you
to include the.
So that money goes to the candidate,
yes, so,
the 50?
no, so what it is they don't deal with the 25% until the end. So, if we sell all the tickets at that's 7,500, so we can take the 5,500.
Yeah.
Turn it in on the 24th, and that account for the 15 plus the 35 points. Yeah, the 15 points plus the 35, that's 50 points. Because 5,500 is the max.
Yeah.
And then after that, every fundraising that we do, that adds up to her, for her points. Yeah. And believe me, even I just trying to understand the point system in this is just so confusing. It's confusing, it's like, okay, but again, she's willing to do it, and I like to, make sure that, we help her out. Definitely, of course, the coordination, last year it was at Leo Palace. I don't know about this year, they're still trying to secure a venue.
Just do for her.
There should not be secure vending. However, part of her, scoring is also, tickets sold for the pageant. So whatever she sells for the pageant will go towards her county, the funds.
Money.
So, yeah, maybe.
Sounds like a resource.
Yeah, that's the worst.
The whole week before, when they had the Liberation Community Party, the raffle, people were turning $30, $20.
You know how they work, right? The parents this is what I heard, the parents of the candidates, they have a lot. This is what I heard now. I didn't see it, I don't know it, but that's what I heard.
But, just remember that we're competing with those who's been doing this how many years already?
Yeah.
We're just
They
new.
can see.
So, of course, Santa Rita, they've been doing this, it's just a matter from, Mayor Dell, the father, to Mayor Dell now. They're junior, right now. All the other villages that has been doing this for.
But judging from last year's floats too, the southern villages like Wilson and Rod and wants to watch. Santa Rita, like I was sharing with Mayor, my grandmother's brother was the one that designed the floats every year, all those years he kept winning.
Yeah.
And he passed away a few years ago, so now, are they gonna be contenders? Because they don't have a designer.
On her husband's shirt, we won that, don't we?
Yeah.
And the person who designed those clothes passed away. He passed away.
I heard you call that our full national tonight. I thought we were please.
Who's judging it?
Because it was our first year, Mike and Misty, we're just gonna go in, we're just gonna participate.
Yeah.
We're the only one that will have to do that.
Yeah.
But also just to get, the ins and outs.
And then your, what do you call it, your donation, gift, your line was like one line, you have a lot of gifts presented to them.
Oh,
To the
to
city.
the marshal, to the grand marshal.
So,
Presenting with a bill for me, Grand marshal.
any other announcements? No? Okay.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion to adjourn, any objections? None? So ordered.
Okay.
You know that.